Hi, it's Aisling. I want to welcome you all to Ace of Spades Tarot as we continue to ring in the Astrological New Year, which happened over the spring equinox. I really could think of no better time than to start this channel, especially given the current global turbulence we're all experiencing. So, I went back and forth on whether or not I would shuffle on camera, and I decided that I would. Although I'll be starting off this series of for the first 12 readings using the Romney spread. So the cards are pre-shuffled, the space is pre-cleansed, but I will still shuffle on camera for you. And so feel free to fast forward in just a moment when I really begin, because it can be a little lengthy and time consuming. So this reading, I'll be ending with the few oracle cards, which will give further insight or kind of confirm the messages received in the reading. This reading is for the collective energy of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, really wherever Taurus is prominently placed in your personal natal chart. It is a general collective reading, not a personal reading. So, as always, take what resonates with your situation and leave the rest. You might find that you find better insights in other placements, in other readings. So feel free to also check those out. And I obviously ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment. When commenting, I ask that you are respectful of not only myself, but of the collective energy that is gathered here. Basically, don't be an asshole. And there's enough negativity going on in the world today. We don't need any more negativity. So, I will do my best not to be an asshole, and I ask that you do your best to follow suit. As time is fluid in tarot, I hope that this reading finds you whenever it is meant to. This is really about getting the general energy of what's going on, with the collective of Taurus, kind of past, present, and future. So it really is a timeless reading, and readings won't always be like this. This is just kind of to get the channel off the ground. Well, actually, I've already saged the space and light the incense now. And I will, ring my grandmother's little bell. Gentle energy. So I invite you all to join. And let this reading be for the best and highest good for all who might need guidance at this time. Or just to check in with, where you're at. So again, I ask if you'd like, you're welcome to fast forward while I do the shuffling, as it does take a bit of time, and I don't like to pull cards. I like them to flow as they will. Spirit like them to lead. So again, feel free to fast forward through this. I know it can be boring. Pass through spirit. Taurus pass. I am actually a Taurus Sun and a Taurus Mercury, so I'm looking forward to this reading as well. Double poke out there, so let's see if that shows up again. I think that was good showing up in the reading. As I was meditating, I did, how would you like to receive, please? As I was meditating on the energy prior, to the reading, I did feel a sense of frustration amongst the Taurus collective. Energies have been relatively tough. For everyone, but I specifically felt a sense of okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. All right, let's get started. So, looking at the past, we start off with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is all about, collaboration, working together, building. And it moves, it's funny, we have a 3 right next to another 3, with 3 in the major arcana is the Empress, which is a major arcana for Taurus and also for Libra. So we have this kind of building energy in the past that has kind of catapulted the Taurus collective into this Empress-like energy, into this creative, abundant, fertile energy. And then it's out of, this divine feminine energy. There's no gender in tarot. But we have this Ace of Cups that comes afterwards, after the Empress, and so, well, the Empress is all four queens combined, and but is very, earthly and tangible and fertile and with ideas or children or but lush abundance. This Ace of Cups, this very watery energy, is kind of a gift from the divine. It's an emotional offering, and when we see the dove, that symbolizes the dove flying downwards into this overpouring cup, is symbolizing as above, so below, which is something that I think we always have to remember. Kind of the what goes around comes around rule of karma. So this, and this cup is overflowing into this pond of lotus flowers, which and lily pads, which they're lilies and lotuses, they grow from this muck and are given life. We see the beauty above water, but what they've gone through to get there is kind of speaking again to this putting in this work to get to this kind of this energy. And then we have Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. It's earth energy. It is, and it's a solid offer. It's a solid offer, which clearly, again, we have another 3. It's the third 3. There's only, three numbers so far in this past, and they're all 3s. So it's a 333. Could be something that you've been seeing, that you are seeing a lot, or have been seeing a lot. Again, this time is fluid, so it leads into this kind of celebratory energy, right? And so whatever this offer is, appears to have been something solid and something worth celebrating. And then it leads right into the Four of Swords, where it's interesting because, this is a time out period. This is a rest. And it's very much, again with the 3, we have the 3 swords above this man who looks to be dead, but is really just kind of resting and taking a time out. And he still holds one sword beneath him, which is, kind of the sword of the truth, like the Ace of Swords, if you will. And despite the muted colors, you have this stained glass window in the background. And stained glass in the 14th century, when tarot first was originating, it was at the height of the idea of alchemy. Everyone was kind of, turning, obsessed with this idea of turning lead into gold, and stained glass was one of the biggest kind of alchemical processes that humans created. That's why we see them in so many in churches and in commissioned for wealthy patrons, and because it was the way that the light, it was this incredible way the light, as the sun rose and set, how it shifted, ever shifting colors and patterns, through these stained glass windows. So although everything looks kind of dormant here, the mind is still working. The mind is in a meditative place here, kind of coming up with the next creation, because we've already been at the Empress stage here, and we've already, we've been in the building stage, and we've been in the celebration stage. We've had some solid offers, and so it's taking time out to really let the mind meditate on what's possible. And then this theme of 3 again follows us in an interesting way into this 5 of Cups energy, right? And you don't see the man's face. All you see is his black cloak. He's in mourning, you know, over these 3 cups, again, 3 that have spilled over. And so now there's the one sword from the that you've kind of kept with you, this one sword of truth, but you're failing to remember the 2 cups that are still behind you, you know, and if you just turned around, you'd realize, I mean, he's in a landscape where the river flows, there's a bridge to the castle, the ground is green, but he can't look up from these 3 cups that have spilt over. And it's you know, the message is very strongly to be grateful for what you have, because we will go through losses in life, more and more as we you know, as we age. There's always something to be grateful for if we just turn around and see it. You know, perhaps this celebration was a preemptive celebration. Perhaps, you know, that's the kind of feeling I'm getting, where, you know, the Knight of Pentacles is a solid offer, but it's such a slow moving offer that perhaps the celebration happened too soon. You know, those 3 cups have been lost. The celebration is over. But there are 2 sturdy cups to be grateful for, to just turn around. And it's knowing what it feels like to have been in this Empress energy. You know, it's kind of having to pull yourself back to remember that meditation process where your mind is still alchemizing, is still manifesting the abundance, and kind of picking yourself up by your bootstraps. And in comes, in your presence, the Page of Wands, and pages are always messengers, you know. But the Page of Wands is a nascent energy. It's new creative adventure. He's just setting out, you know. He's got this wand and it's blooming, and he's excited. He's looking at it like, I have this wand. I have this wand, and I'm ready, you know. And then all of a sudden, we have 8 wands to fly in, you know. The eight of wands is fast moving energy, you know. It's fast communication. It's fast motion forward. So it's like, wait, I was just getting used to this one wand. Now I have 8 wands. You know, and 8 plus 1 is the 9 of wands, which is the wounded warrior energy, which is the you know, been through the battles and now still holding on to that one wand. And I would like to show, well, Spirit's indicating that I should show you the 9 of wands. Just show me where is, please. Yeah, there we go. So, you know, the 9 of wands is, he's standing and he's like still holding on to this wand. It's like he's no longer this page. He's like, I've been through the battles. I wear the battle scars, and I am blocked off, and I'm guarding whatever I can with my life. All my chakras are blocked, you know. His crown chakra, his heart, his throat, his solar plexus, his sacral, his root. It's just like, no, I'm not letting go. I worked too hard. But it all came in too fast, perhaps. So it's a feeling of like, whoa, what? I just came out of a, you know, did I just come out of a tornado in a way? What just happened? And so then, it's funny because right below the Ace of Cups, we now have the Ace of Swords. Now remember, we saved this sword from when we were meditating, when we took a step back, and the universe is saying, okay, here's the sword of truth. Here's the crown of victory. Here's the sword of truth. And you know, you're already at this 9 of wands, so we need to move in a different direction. You have the world. You know, the world. In tarot, we're always on a journey. We start off with the Fool, we end at the World, where we go through all of the major arcana, and in the minor arcana, we're always getting to the 10s. You know, from from the Ace of Cups to the Ten of Cups, from the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles, from the Ace of Swords to the Ten of Swords. We go through all of them in life. And now the World is the conclusion card. You know, it is the ending and beginning. It's you know, it is zero. It is starting at Fool's journey again. As the Fool is zero in the major arcana. You know, and you know, but she's also found herself, because from endings come beginnings. You can't have something begin without something else coming to an end. And you know, in both hands she has two magic wands, and she bears her nakedness without shame, she's comfortable in her skin. And then something happens here where the Seven of Swords kind of creeps in, literally. And again, it's this idea of, you know, taking these 5 swords with him and leaving 2 swords in the ground, similar to these 2 cups that have been left, right? But he's kind of looking back at them like, okay, those are still there. Like I've still got those there. Where this man isn't looking back. He's looking back. He's not taking all of his swords with him. He's still leaving 2 in the ground, almost like okay, I have a foothold, right? I have a foothold. I have what I need for now, but I have these 2 swords still here in my mind. And you know, in the 2 of Swords, the card, you know, you see the woman and the swords are crossed over her chest, blocking her heart chakra, and she's blindfolded. So it's almost like a decision that has to be made, right? Something ends to come to the beginning, and you have this, it's kind of, again, this offering after this whirlwind in the present. And that might be what your world feels like right now, Taurus. It might just be, you know, so much happens, and there's this turnover, and there's endings and these beginnings, and it's like, wait, hold on, I need to get that foothold. Where's my meditation? And so it's funny, because right under this 4 of Swords we have the Hanged Man, you know, which is major arcana for Pisces, but it's also a card of similar to the 4 of Swords. It's kind of like the 4 of Swords in the major arcana, in that, you know, it's and it's a card number 12, which, you know, 12, 1 plus 2 is 3, so we're back to a 3 again. But he's choosing to hang himself upside down, to become enlightened, to see things from a different perspective. Now we're learning, right? We're learning that there isn't only one perspective. These 3 cups might have spilled, but the 2 cups are still there. We're learning to turn around and look at the things left behind. We're learning to see things from a new viewpoint. And so a lot of you might have been going through a spiritual awakening during this time, with the Hierophant here, which is also, again, the, you know, major arcana for Taurus. You know, he's like the high priest. He can also deal with, you know, contracts and marriage and institutions, but it's also higher learning. And you know, he has disciples that are you know, he's kind of, you know, he's the counterpart to the high priestess. He is the high priest, and he's, you know, divinely guided, and holds the keys, you know, to the wisdom, to more, you know, to spiritual wisdom, but also to tangible wisdom. And leading from there, we go into the future of the 10 of Cups, which is finding this kind of enlightenment and this new perspective, and this spiritual wisdom within leads you to emotional, you know, the 10 of Cups is beautiful. It's full emotional fulfillment, right? It's a rainbow of all 10 cups filled, and happy life, and happy within, emotions within, you know, finding that, you know, it doesn't mean you have to have a family. You could be completely on your own, but it's still emotional fulfillment within. And that leads into the King of Pentacles, which is, you know, the most tangibly abundant king. You know, it's Aries and Taurus energy. It is, you know, it's financial abundance. It's, you know, the pre-emperor card for me, as a reader, you know, and he's serious, but he's generous, and he takes care of his kingdom. lush with the pomegranate seeds and the pentacle, and the bull's head here above him, and the sturdiness of ruling a kingdom. Is a very much a fatherly figure, whether male or female. Again, gender, doesn't matter. It's not gender specific in tarot. But it also means there's a lot of balancing having to go on, because now we're at the Two of Pentacles, and this is one of the few cards where you see the infinity symbol, and it's balancing these two pentacles, and it's almost like a court jester in a way. The waves are rocking behind this person, and he's trying to, where this king sits like, nope, good, I'm good. It's like this person is like, wait, am I good? So maybe people see you this way, but inside you're feeling this, and you can't do this ad infinitum. Like, at some point, something's going to have to give. Choices are going to have to be made. Choices have to be made here, which is why we went to hangman mode, right? So coming up, you might want to be very aware of how much you put on your plate, and that's where strength comes in, and one of the only other cards where we have two infinity symbols here in a row, where she's, taming this, it's the major arcana for Leo, one of them, and she's taming this lion, with just a gentle touch. And, her strength is in her ability to be gentle, to be humane, she doesn't need to use force, her strength is it comes from within. And a lion is a lion. You don't just tame a lion, so it's being strong throughout this process and saying, okay, what do I have to give up to continue having what I want? Where do I find this strength from within, right? And it's not coming from juggling, it's not coming from trying to balance too many plates. And once that happens, we have the Knight of Cups, which comes in, which is a very solid offer. Knight of Cups, that's often an offer of love, and it's an offer of further emotions. Now you've already been, you're already heading in this future row into the Ten of Cups. So could be like, oh well, I don't need another cup, or it could be like, yes, like, I remember I have these two cups, right? Maybe it could be the remembrance of that. Because we have Judgment in the reverse next, which is not heeding the call. Now, it's below the Hanged Man. So Judgment, you would think it would be in the upright, because you've been enlightened. You've spent so much time in kind of becoming enlightened that you're not, you're so focused, I think, on balancing at times that you're not heeding the call. It's Archangel Gabriel, singing the trumpet and rising those from the dead to see the light. And when we don't heed the calls, and we don't see the signs that are right in front of us, tower moments happen, and tower moments, again, it's literally almost like starting off again on the Fool's journey, because, it's something that can't be avoided. Lightning strikes the tower, and these people, they'll either stay in the tower and get burned alive, or they have to kind of jump out and, either fall to their death or hope they can fly. And so this is Spirit asking you to pull from everything you've been through, the endings and the beginnings, the failed attempts and rising from the ashes, and never being afraid to take that Fool's journey again if need be. So at the bottom of the deck we have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is, pages are messengers. This page is, in his cup is a fish. Now, unless you put Goldie in the cup yourself, and Goldie's, happy there, and you want Goldie there, and you're being playful, then that's great. But otherwise, it's about using your discernment, heeding the call, paying attention to the red flags, to the signs, to the messages that are sent to you. Because the Tower, we can't avoid it. It happens whether or not we want it to happen. So, you know, the Page of Cups to me is kind of like, you know, just, he's kind of after the Fool. It's like the Fool's, you know, the start of the Fool's journey, and still learning again. You know, wait, what, is this a good cup? Does this cup smell fishy? Oh no, I put that fish in the cup. You know, it's your choice whether or not you want to pay attention to things that maybe your intuition is telling you something's off, but you so want that cup, and you're going to ignore the fact that something smells off. Or maybe you're deciding, you know what, life has been too serious. I have been too serious. I've spent so much time in meditation and contemplation and mourning and, you know, and juggling and being strong and you know, ruling kingdom, you know, ruling my, whatever my domain is, that maybe it's time to play a little bit. Maybe it's time to have some playfulness. You know, and as we read the cards this way, you know, the first row down is the sense of self, and, you know, what is it that you know, what is it you really want? What matters to you? And clearly what matters to you is working hard towards something, being able to pursue creative projects, and being able to take that left when you were supposed to go right, and say, you know what, I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to start this new project. And it's going to lead me to emotional fulfillment, because that's what really matters to you in the long run. You know, and so your surroundings, you have the Empress, and you have this fast communication and this King of Pentacles. So it says to me that you're, you know, for Taurus, home and kind of luxury, finer things are, you know, it's a very tangible sign. It's a sign that likes to luxuriate in food and pleasures and you know, comfortable surroundings. You know, Taurus rules the second house. It's the house of finance, material goods. So, you know, it's paying attention to the things that allow you to stay. You know, things might happen quickly, and being prepared for that, so that you can stay within your abundance. Again, like the King of Pentacles to me is the pre-Emperor card. So, with, you know, you have the Empress and the almost Emperor. You know, it's almost a divine pair here. So, home life looks good. There might be some changes, but you'll figure a way to always make sure that you stay in the comfort that you want to be in. Now, in your hopes and fears, we have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. So it's like, it's almost as if, you know, you hope for this divine cup of you know, of emotion, this divine sort of truth, but then the fear is when you get it, you won't know how to balance it. And so it's really about learning balance is the key to this reading. And I think that you're learning to do it well, because it seems like every time something kind of goes astray, you take a time out until you don't. So always remember, that's the biggest lesson, I think, is to always remember to take a step back before rushing forward. And it's okay to start again. It's okay to fail. You know, failing is okay. What's not okay is not to try. And what's not okay is not to step back and look at another perspective and say, oh, maybe this could be done differently. Sorry, it's like flash thunderstorms out there. In our hidden, you know, in our known factors, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the World, and the Strength. So it's like, you know that whatever you're offering or someone is offering to you is solid. You know that it comes with endings and beginnings. Something has to go for something else to come in. And you know that you have strength. You know that you have the inner strength to be able to do that. The hidden factors is this Three of Cups, this Seven of Swords, and this Knight of Cups. So I'm getting strongly that being too concerned maybe with luxuriating in going out and having fun with friends, or, you know, kind of taking an easy way out, thinking everything's all fine, you might miss the sincere offer that comes in. You know, and in short term, in short term future here, we have, you know, just a lot of cards of meditation, of gaining perspective, of the mind at work, right? Enlightening yourself by taking time, choosing to take time out, choosing to rest, to meditate, to reflect, to see things differently. But then you have, you know, not heeding the call, missing the signs. So it's a message of don't forget what you've already learned, what you've taken so much time to learn when the call comes, right? Because we want this to be an upright. We want to hear the call when it comes for us, so we don't get stuck in the tower. And long term, you know, long-term future, it's gone through this period of mourning, to this period of spiritual awakening, to this tower of understanding that things happen that we can't control, and not being afraid to take the fool's journey again, to start afresh, and to do it with a bit of gaiety, you know, to do it with a bit of joy and a bit of laughter and well, that didn't work, okay? So I'm gonna put this fish in the cup. You know, I'm not going to take the cup that smells fishy. If there's gonna be a fish in my cup, I'm gonna put it there, and it's gonna be for fun, and it's gonna bring me pleasure. And it's remembering that life doesn't always have to be so serious, right? Because you have the strength and you have the wisdom, and you know that, and you have the comfort. It's about not getting complacent. It's about not getting so complacent that you miss the things that matter. And things that matter involve things that make you laugh, that bring you joy. So I'm gonna now just to pull 3 cards here from King Kranz's Wild Unknown Spirit Animal deck, which will either kind of confirm the reading or give further insight. We have the past for Taurus, please. Past for Taurus. Again, these cards have already been pre-shuffled. Thank you. So we have the Crow spirit in the past. Crow to me correlates very strongly with the High Priestess spirit. So, you have the Empress there. She's kind of the tangible counterpart to the High Priestess. She's the worldly version, whereas the High Priestess is the kind of ethereal. She's the veil between the worlds. As the Crow is kind of considered the veil between the worlds, right? And you have this meditative quality of this man and this man cloaked in black. The crow can be a dark creature, but they are actually incredibly intelligent and incredibly wise. Make it a bedrock, crows. And it's sitting on the world, and you have the world right in the center of your reading. So it's having an innate understanding of the world, of the light, the dark, and all of the colors on the spectrum in between. Present, please. Present, please. The mouse. And that's where the fear comes in, because the mouse is the mouse is always scurrying around. It's always nervous. It's always afraid to be, it's like the Seven of Swords energy. It's like it's afraid to be. It's afraid to be eaten, basically, And it's always scavenging for. I really feel like the Seven of Swords energy. It's kind of scavenging for this. For its next morsel to kind of stow away. So we don't want to be in the mouse energy. We've already been at the crow energy, So right now it just might be it might be a scary time, but things are definitely looking up. They're saying take this here. Cosmic egg. So that's the card of ether. And that is completely understanding, the snake sheds its skin. As I was saying before, the snake sheds its skin, and begins anew as the fool begins its journey, right? But as the crow sits on the world, the snake wraps itself. It's also almost like the Ouroboros as the snake eats its own head. But it's wrapped itself completely around the world. It has control of it, even as it sheds its skin. It doesn't just sit on top of it. It's not afraid of what's around it. It sheds when it's ready. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy to end in. And so that's like, when tower moments happen in the future, just remember, as a snake sheds its skin, you don't forget all of the beautiful lessons you've learned. You shed and you renew and you transmute and you begin again. But each time you begin again, you come from a place of experience and of knowledge. So as I shuffle these, if you'd like to think of a question, we'll get one Moonology Oracle card. Hopefully give an answer to that question, Something simple. Don't make it too complicated. Don't overthink it. I know you've had all this meditative hangman, Four of Swords energy, but you don't have to overthink it. Question on your mind. One card, please, for Taurus. Don't let your past hold you back. And that's perfect. Your South Node. Some of you might have South Node in Taurus. The nodes just moved into Taurus as the North Node. Scorpio's South Node. So, but don't let your past hold you back is a big message. It's saying go towards your North Node energy, whatever that may be, and always move forward. Always be the snake that sheds its skin if a tower moment hits, and always be in the energy of the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's always just transmutation. And then at the bottom of the deck, you're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. So, the next time we'll have a gibbous moon will be about 2 weeks or so. So, if you're trying to achieve something, know that you're on your right path. And finally, I'd like to pull a crystal. Could I get a crystal, please, for my bow gang, my fellow Taurians, bows? Moonstone, live your purpose. Tiger's eye, overcome your fears, and labradorite, see the magic. In a way, actually, I think it should be here like this because, I'll hold them up. Labradorite, see the magic. The crow sees the magic, like I said, it's like the high priestess. It's a great stone for artists, writers, creators. Have here, it's kind of this iridescent, beautiful, when the light hits it, you really do see the magic of the stone. Tiger's eye, also one of my favorites I have here. It's a very fiery stone. It's great for this upcoming new moon in Aries. And it is about overcoming your fears, carry this with you when when you're setting out to do something that you need strength in. Carry Tiger's eye for that extra punch. And then moonstone, live your purpose, what you want, where you want to be. Don't get too jumbled up in trying to carry too many plates. Focus on living what your purpose is. Focus on noticing and on recognizing the signs, and moonstone, is a great stone. I wear moonstone all the time. I find it to be quite helpful especially in meditation and in attuning to the phases of the moon, and to keep on your track. All beautiful stones. So that concludes your reading, Taurus. I hope you liked this reading. Again, they won't always be like this. This is just kind of to start off. It's a bit long. So if you did, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like, share with friends, so we can build a beautiful, collective community here at Ace of Spades. Thank you so much.